You got any more questions? Yeah.
One makes up a ritual. How do you know that doesn't send an entity?
Well, if you make it, well, it's not about defending the entity because this entity now resides in you. So, for the mere fact that you're making up the ritual, that is the entity making up the ritual. These rituals ultimately should be drawn off your own energy. As well as what's going to really make it nice, so we don't answer to no more motherfucking gods. They are either with us, or they are against us. Now, if they're against us, we don't have to answer to them anyway. If they are with us, there ain't no such thing as no defending because we take on the attributes, and now we are. It's no different than when you've been appointed CEO. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't no more negotiation in this thing. If you CEO, and it's not a disrespect, they gotta have somebody that's the chairman of the board to run the company. You see what I'm saying? And all your decisions are final. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not a matter of defending and all because we're not coming by the way of worship anymore. We're taking on the responsibility as God. And once you take on that responsibility as God, then that means any entity that you read about got to bow down to you. And the reason why they have to bow down to you is because they're nothing but your own latent forces within you. Good question you asked because it's the same thing that's happening with the Yoruba now. And I talked about this before. The Yoruba system, as well as the Buddhic and all the other stuff that a lot of the people are dealing with. And all world systems now, and I give this example about the Yoruba system. Although the Yoruba system is beautiful rituals and the entities, and you get far more out of it than you do Christianity. But a lot of the practitioners are now locked into it's a more advanced form of worship, but it's still a form of dogma and worship. Because what has happened is Obatala and all of these entities, Oshun, Ogun, and these Orishas, have become someone that the people depend on as well other than some energy that's a part of the person. So the elaborate mystery system of old, they understood that these entities were also inside of us, and they are a part of us as well as we are being a part of them. You understand what I'm saying? And you can't have one without the other. Energy is energy, and it's bound together. But over the course of years, and over the course of Africa deteriorating in certain invasions, the high priest in the mystery school, that was an established school, had to go up underground. And so after a while, what started happening is just like anybody else, when you have the everyday practitioner, their concept became not so much of these latent forces that's in us, and we are the actual entities, and we are the actual ones that are the ones in the driver's seat to push these entities. The concept became we are beholden to these entities, we have to worship these entities, and we have to respect these entities, and we have to appease these entities. So it's just a matter of the tide changing to a worship form. But ultimately, these primal entities work through you, and once you become head of the command module, you understand what I'm saying? Then they have to do what you say, because the simple fact is no different than asking your kidney to push out some piss. Simple. You see what I'm saying? So we're not talking about it. So we're talking about the difference between the ones that's in here and the ones that's learning are supposed to get in touch and take command of their own universe. You understand what I'm saying? So we're not talking about the thousands of practitioners out there, you understand what I'm saying, that actually think that a Batala is an objective entity. Now, if you see, your mind determines where things are. So if your mind is at the level that it thinks that a Batala is out there, then a Batala is going to be out there. Shango is going to be out there. And based on your mentality, you better show enough appease him on that level, because you are not at the level to understand that they are a part of you. But once you get to that level to understand that they are a part of you, you understand what I'm saying? Not only do you have the authority over them, but they don't work for you anymore based on the other way. You understand what I'm saying? Based on the other way. So the keys here in locking into this, because it's a very good question you're asking, where we are right now, the keys in the right now is have no responsibility whatsoever, have all responsibility for yourself and leave no responsibility to any entity outside of yourself. We do recognize these latent forces. You see, we do recognize these latent forces. You see, but we also have to recognize that they are a part of us, and then that's the way it will start to work. And that's the way it's going to have to be. The entities are waiting on us. You see what I'm saying? They're waiting on us, but we can have to bind them together by understanding that it is our mind, and it is us that actually, ultimately, is going to tell them what to do. And that's what we figure it out. And it's an excellent question and all, because even when I had to house my rituals, the one that I did, at a series of commands. I was in charge. You see what I'm saying? I was in charge. And they feel the book, Rudolf Steiner's Cosmic Hierarchy. And in that book, they talk about how the Egyptians would take a person, and he would be in the mystery system, and he would go about, he'd be thinking that these entities is omnipotent and above him. Then when he gets 30, the Egyptian priests used to come in and say, hey, look, them entities you've been praying, them your damn ancestors, they once was gods just like you, and you just the same as they are. And as a matter of fact, now you're the one that's in control of them. It's the same thing in Jeremiah's book when he talks about how the elemental forces, when harvest of the Heru is a child, they are his protectors. When he becomes an adult at age 30, the Kim Heru, they are his servants. Just a matter of chain of command. So then the initiate, when he learns that these entities are all a part of him and then he's the same as them, then he has to get over the emotional aspect of dealing with that, because it's kind of lonely when you don't have a God to pray to no more. You see what I'm saying? And it's kind of hard to take an entity that you revere and tell them to get the fuck off their ass. You see what I'm saying? So another part about this is it's a matter of growing up to the point where you take the responsibility. And so we don't need, so a lot of magical aspects of this and stuff, it still can be tools where we get stuck into the method and not understand that ultimately the ones that the entire universe is waiting on, and ultimately this universe is waiting on you to destroy them, including the white man. So why don't you kill us? You know what I'm saying? Is us. That and I know that that's a hell of a responsibility. Remember on the movie The Matrix, they say, did he tell you what you was here for? He said, who? To save the world. He said, how do you tell somebody that? How do one deal with that? That's a hell of a responsibility. You see what I'm saying? So it's a matter of that also too. Give me some more questions.